Let's begin with the meditation today. You may sit in what may appear to you like a meditation posture, quite comfortable in every way possible, giving loving kindness to every part of your body. You may see the position of your hands, maybe your right palm on your left palm and your two thumbs connecting so the flow of energy is connected, and your head and neck resting on your spine. Feel free to change your posture mindfully and kindly to your body. Notice your shoulders, may also notice your sitting bones, your knees, they are bent and supporting the sitting posture. Your shin bone and the soles of your feet. Feel the ground beneath, stable and getting rooted like a tree. And the surrounding, the quietness, receptive to whatever is coming your way, accepting fresh thoughts, ideas, the active mind, beginner's mind, the mind of not knowing, mind of knowing, mind of wanting peace, slight attachments, inclinations of your mind, also the luminosity of your mind, the mind that went through various forms of forms of suffering and attachments, pain, manifestation, goal accomplishing and target reaching, surviving, many more. The mind that went through healing, caring, exploring, being curious. What is the way to quiet this mind? Closing your eyes, letting the sounds be, not having to smell and investigate things, not having to taste things during this meditation, not having to change your posture. And that way your brain stops sending signals to seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and physical sensations. Thinking is active as you are listening to the voice of guided meditation. You can use the thinking mind to ask this question: how mindful were you this morning? Closing your doors, making sure things were done. Were you there? Were you present? What took your attention away? Any anxiety, fear, control? Virtually there is nobody giving those to you besides your own mind. To begin with, you may use this as a poem. May I be well. May I be peaceful. May I be calm. May I be loving and kind. Imagine filling mind with loving kindness. One fourth of your mind, half of your mind more than half of your mind completely filled with loving kindness. So your mind is easily concentrated, collected, unified. You abandon the thoughts involving your past or future and quickly learn that what is happening now is your breath. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Notice the movements of your breath, fresh air entering through your nostrils, and you are aware, going upward, inwardly, filling your lungs, notice your inhaling and exhaling, the sensations, bodily sensations of your respiratory system, knowledge of your long breath, knowledge of any shortness, inhaling and exhaling all the four, long, short, inhaling, exhaling, long inhaling, long exhaling, short inhaling, short exhaling. Apply more and more mindfulness, permeating your body with tranquility. Take a long breath in and release. Take another long breath in and release. Long, quiet breath in and release. Notice the moment when the breath wants to become less longer as you inhale and exhale long. Without skipping any breath, you are mindful, fully aware of your breath as it happens now, expanding your awareness to the entire breath and the body, experiencing the whole body, shoulders, back, every corner of your body. You now breathe in and breathe out, or begin observing the natural breath happening in every part of your body. Movements, unlike before, you are now connected with your cycle of breath. Where is the first place your mind wants to wander? Catch it and bring it back very gently to your present experience of breath, allowing the body to dissolve in the moment. The sinking of your body happens, immersing in tranquility and awareness, being held in air, uplifted. If it is too soon, see where your mind goes in terms of feeling, bodily feelings. Apply your wisdom to see with the eyes closed, not with the eyes open. There's another scene. What are these bodily feelings, bodily painful feelings? So your attention goes to your posture or healing emotions. Now quickly remembering the middle path, you radiate loving kindness to your body again. That way the body cooperates and have an agreement with your mind's tranquility. The body does not trespass the tranquility, and the tranquility does not trespass the body. It becomes an experience of your mind, letting the body be. The body disappears, mind separated and become luminous. Weight of the body dropped. You are still with your breath now. However subtle your breath becomes, you can notice. Always come back to it. You have activities involving your inhaling and exhaling, calming the physical bodily sensations that may arise. Despite your intention to let the body go, you breathe in and breathe out. Attention on one place, that is the area of the tip of your nose. Keep observing quietly the breath almost disappearing and coming to life, letting the tranquility settle in your body, making space for this tranquility until you hear the bell in a couple of minutes. Now you may open your eyes and come out of meditation. You can stretch, you can just feel the ground. So last Saturday, I spoke about something based on a teaching of the Buddha. Somewhat repetition, not a repetition, but the same format of what I did on Thursday, but with different content. But my intention of starting the Saturday program was to just open it up for questions and discuss about various general topics. Like, there are so many topics like how to deal with the breakup pain. Some people go through these things. May not be important to us right now, but because I'll be posting this into YouTube, discussing about these can open up topics that we may want to discover as we go. And I like to begin with, what the Buddha would say about this situation that someone is going through a breakup. A breakup can be felt, like a really heavy pain. You want to be with someone and you can't be with that person because of many circumstances, and that we go through it time to time in our lives. With our children, with our partners, loved ones. On the surface of it is what the Buddha called ignorance. That's where the root of all the not knowing is sort of the root cause of this cycle. If we knew that we would get into a situation where we will be beating our chest and crying and feeling left alone, and, writing poems, or not knowing how to deal with that darkness that we feel. So that darkness feels like ignorance. So that's a form of attachment. Well, anybody can say you are attached, but that doesn't help that person. So, and anybody can say it's ignorance, and that also doesn't help. They know the answer. They know that, not having this is the answer, but how to disown this situation that they fell into. I remember this quote by Rumi that says, one of the marvels in the world is to see a prisoner who has the key in the hand. They have the key and they see the door, they can unlock it and leave, but they still prefer to stay in that prison. And that is saying that we like that attachment, we like that suffering, so we want to stay with it. And that's a marvel. That's some way that people want to stay with it, not let go of it. And I think of my own life time to time and how that has applied to me, that some places, some people also getting ordained, letting go of friends that I knew. So there is that familiarity that we want to go back to all the time. We cannot, our minds cannot think of a new existence, new form of existence at all. And what is beneath that experience is also fear of facing the newness, what we imagine would happen. It's keeping us from achieving that place. So when we open that door that is keeping us in a cell, what is outside is just the same sunlight, same trees, air. Then we slowly walk out of it. Walking out needs a decision, coming to the middle ground, being willing to walk that path. That is actually very much of a path leading toward overcoming this suffering. Like the Buddha's middle path is helping us to overcome any extreme that we are in, any attachment, any end that needs to be cut and then come to the middle place. And then the wisdom giving us the company that letting go of little, we get a little relief. Letting go of some middle extent, we get that middle extent of relief. Letting go of so much, we get so much of relief. Knowing that all that we want to achieve is on the other side of letting go. That kind of thinking can help us walk the path. So for a teenager who's dealing with that kind of pain, they think of quick solutions, such as wanting to quickly get rid of this pain that they're experiencing. And they fail to wait for the answer. They fail to give time for this life. For anything to become so alive within us, it takes time, such as the pain that they are now experiencing. It took so long for it to become what it is now. And what they fail to see is that it may take twice as much as that time for it to die within us. Because of that, they choose quick solutions like killing themselves, hanging, all kinds of different ways to end it. That is actually a form of craving, controlling that situation. Craving that has become a form of aversion in us. That you don't want this. It's you being the controller. But what if, I always thought to myself, what if I lived to find a solution instead of I killed myself as the solution? Like when I was 16, there were these times that I disliked my father so much. But I don't know a world outside because I'm just a teenager. He has never allowed us to spend too much time with friends. And so we don't know that world outside. We don't know that there are people who go through even more pain than I went through. But not knowing, again, we think of these quick solutions. That's what teenagers do. We wait for an opportunity when there's no one watching and we try to. Sometimes I haven't done it myself, but take medication, pills, and stuff to, you know, think because that also is a quick solution to end things. But father and mother, these figures are our first biggest love in our life, right? And when that is broken, we have this pain. I used to walk like how my father walked. Like he has this habit of putting one foot like just a little not straight. And you see how much we scan, them as our heroes and people who walk ahead of us, and we must walk like them. And I need to observe how my Buddhism teacher, we had a subject as Buddhism to study at school, and when he came to the class, he greeted us saying, "May you live long." And then he had this one finger, just like that. And I used to do that myself, just to be like that teacher. So without knowing that these can shape our lives, we do these small little things. So we perhaps believe that those people were the perfect ones, not knowing that we can also look beyond and go beyond their boundaries. Who set these boundaries? Not them, certainly. It's just us giving these boundaries to us. But then it takes so many years of living to learn many experiences that your friends go through, you go through, and facing these challenges to learn that breakup pain, pain of departure, all these are just different forms of attachment. Walls that we create within our own mind that are invisible. When a hand is broken, I often say it's easy to know it because it's visible. But when the mind is going through this pain, it's invisible. So it's hard for anybody to see it. We show to the world that we are happy, when in fact, right under, beneath that happiness, there is so much unhappiness. That is what depression looks like sometimes. I have seen people who have killed themselves, but moments ago they are dancing happily for TikTok videos. But these people are the ones who also killed themselves because of that pain that was overwhelming. So I think we need to be very sensitive to these things, but sensitive enough also not to get ourselves trapped in those pains. Right? So protect ourselves, protect our energies from these. Because these are also things, but invisible things. As I vividly remember this image that I saw, a tree branch has fallen and a heart shape is created from that tree branch. You can Google it. I think it must be there somewhere. It's a popular image. And someone said as a meme that it's when you fall out of love that love remains. It's when you break that bond that you start feeling a different kind of love, and that image of it forever lives. As if when people are separated, not when they are united, that there is that love. And it's there It's when you can't get to that person, then you start thinking of them all the time. But now there's this owning, and suddenly love disappears. And I tell this story also about um, lovers, boyfriends wanting a girlfriend, always talk like a parrot. But when they are married, they become an owl. You need tea? Hmm. You want to eat? Hmm. What happened to that parrot? not not chatting all the time. See, that ends. All that chatting happened until you wanted to own that person. And then you don't care anymore. So what is actually love then? It's something that as itself very selfish. It's something that other person fulfilled in you that you wanted. Until that is fulfilled, you were that person. So romantic. And now that it's fulfilled, you're no longer that person. So then there is another form of love. Love without any deal. Love without any condition. Love that is just love. You are that way and I am this way, and I don't need to control you in any form. And I just let things be, and I'm here no matter what. If that happens between people who are married, there's no expectation whatsoever, just acceptance, no pain. That's so beautiful, and that is an existence that can live forever. But is it only existing in our imagination? These are things that is not in our control. We can't want it and have it. It just happens. Then, in hindsight, we figure out, oh, this is what is love life. To simplify things, when teenagers love and that they can't own that girlfriend or they can't own that boyfriend, they want to kill that person. And that is telling that they actually loved themselves, not that other person. If you truly loved, you cannot hurt. You can never hurt that person. If that love is so selfish, then you were only thinking of you. So you want to harm, you want to end their life. And it's sometimes too common. You only need to look for it that these killings and using weapons happen because of that self-driven love. It was all about that person, not the needs of the other person. And that form of love is very selfish love, conditional love. And underneath that breakup pain, you need to see if that is the kind of love that you had. If you were the narcissistic person, it's a stronger word to use. If you were the control freak person, if you were the controller, that you didn't give a break to the person. It's in in those situations we say, you know, in the first year of marriage, wife listens to the husband. In the second year, husband listens to the wife. In the third year, neighbors listen to both. Right? We need to see life for what it is, life as, as it is. In that we see there is engagement ring, wedding ring, and the third ring, that is suffering. That is part of this union. We slowly begin to realize, oh, this person does not uh, fold their clothes, and telling them doesn't help. This person does not always wipe off the sink after using things that you used to do all your life, and this person does not seem to have ever learned these things, and you suddenly have thoughts about it, and these thoughts are painful. I believe right now that any thought that are about controlling anything is painful. Having to tell anybody about anything is painful. Let alone dealing with consequences of telling them and them not actually listening. So the world that we imagined as, beyond that love isn't as same as the world that we actually live with. Not a true. It's always mind made. Everything is mind made. So there are many, many, many ways that you can look at it. They say wedding and welding. You can compare them. In welding, you have spark first and bonding forever. In wedding, you have bonding first and sparks forever. That you always. It's hard to explain. And sometimes you give up. I'm tired of explaining. Or sometimes you do too much, 2 times the energy that you can give by doing the part that the other person is supposed to do. So there is always that that people don't see, teenagers don't see. I think enough of me talking. Maybe you have things to say. It's like 9:24. The next couple of minutes. Did you have anything that came to your mind? You're silent. You're not.
I had many things. I tried to find one of them.
Yeah, many things. Right?
Just strongly. Visiting of them and some of it there, they're humans.
Right.
Sometimes you have a longing, but it's no home that you live. I remember I used to, it's like it's like a longing. It's not like I want to go back to this place or that place, or like there's something that seems like it's missing. And it's both familiar and totally unknown. Maybe that's a little like the love you're talking about. That is not a conditional love. But it's more like a place of opening and rest as opposed to protection, control.
Nibbana kind of home. Like freedom from any wanting to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's like, but as a mother, it's interesting to hear because you have child, and so, well, this is my experience. So wrapped up with because there's more in, that. And so it's interesting.
You can speak to that also. Every mother, most mothers feel that way.
Yeah.
And how much is too much? Never explained.
And it's always the feeling that you're less than what you should have
Yes.
been. And there's always that feeling until he or she starts putting boundaries.
Yes. And it's painful.
Older, then they realize what is too much and what is not.
Yeah.
So then they start putting the boundaries for you to feel comfortable, which is more comforting to them times, I think. Because otherwise, as a child, he absorbs everything like a can. And you just feel like you have to do more. And as they get older, I think they really feel their energy plays and what's good for them and what's not good for them. And in a way, what's good for you and what's not good for you, they also define. That's so good. Which is kind of liberating, yeah, because I have an older son, I probably that's the reason what I have experienced now. Very good.
It's giving you hope, right?
Yeah. It's very good stuff. It's very kind of stuff. So walking down this road, and I was just, and he grabs me and pushes me to the side. And I realized there's a car coming. I didn't even hear it. And I had that moment thinking, he's like more
protector
than he is the one who I can't believe,
reverse roles.
Walking, but it's like that. Exactly. I saw the switch, and I thought always
yeah.
And he was the one. So it was, but I felt what you said. I was like, he'll be okay without me. Well, he won't be happy without me. That's liberating.
Yeah. And in that moment, he paid back, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the moments that frees a mother, that now he can be on his own. I don't need to protect him anymore. Yeah. Like when the Buddha said, like a mother who protects her only child. Imagine putting, giving that care when they are due, and for nearly 10 months, only a mother does that, and they are the only ones privileged to that feeling. Although it's always not a pleasant experience, but it's not like attachment, like a teenage lover. It's more than that, more care. It's all about that child, what you eat, the way you sleep, every kind of activity is driven to this child. And the Buddha says, can you give that to every being that you see on earth? It is impossible, but it is that this dog that I see is my child. Let me make sure that it has eaten. Let me make sure that it has a place to live. And that way, your horizons limitlessly open, infinite.
have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you see people, you see someone in the first instinct, and not even someone you know making out like this, you get a sort of instinct of like fear, protection, like for yourself, which is often important, right?
Yeah.
But then, and it's like instinctive, right? It's not. But then you sit with them, right? And you see like they might perhaps do these things and that, but you see like that, I don't know, vulnerability or something, you know, that it's not sort of work with that. And I don't mean like a boyfriend. I just mean like that. And that person is calling you good at you know, you just get it. How do you move beyond that kind of like very natural to be able to offer something in a way that's the right thing to offer? Why?
I think all beings are trying. All beings have something to give to us. So filling that space with gratitude, switching to thoughts of gratitude. And with that, seeing any shortcomings is a lesson to us. Oh, my heart felt like I should set boundaries. So this can happen between teachers, children, students. And then what was the message is that if we became too close, we get burnt. If we went too far away, we don't feel. So the fire effect, keeping a distance so that you get the benefit of it, but you also don't get burnt. Always, with any person. That's why, having lived with many, many teachers, I have taken to note that this person or that person, they are big teachers, but I don't have to take them as my refuge, right? I treat them as human beings. And I have seen that, many people say, my teacher has this quality, and although somebody else say, no, they don't have that. But you want to believe that my teacher has that quality. That gets us in trouble not to see that aspect of the teacher. And so the Buddha said, when he passed away, he said, he did not name anybody as the successor. Because he saw in big groups that happened when the big leader passed away, there was a fight for the next one. And then the Buddha said, okay, take my teaching and discipline as the teacher when I pass away. And I love that. So nothing wrong can happen. Nothing can go wrong in that space. What is the message? What are they trying to deliver? What is the message of this stranger in my life?
You know, how he is going to affect my path.
Yeah.
So be positive with it, but again, at the beginning, it might feel kind of disruptive.
Yeah. Right. It's like, there's a glass of water that you're holding on, and you are thinking that by holding on, you can still the water inside. And you put it down, After 3 hours of holding on, it didn't still. The moment you put it down, you see there's shaking. But putting down was the thing that you had to do. Right, not holding on. And the moment you put down, you see that violence shaking. But it's no longer yours. It's not your job to calm it down. The glass itself settles down. It's actually true for me too. Like, besides the word people speak, there is darkness, there is message in their face. And we are able to see it so clearly, but we don't want to say it. It feels like crossing boundaries. And that tells us that we are all human beings. We can just be loving and kind. And that, like you said, the car was coming toward you that you didn't see. That may be the end of your life. That's the only moment you had with your son. And if he didn't protect you, that's all. That's it. Bye bye. Goodbye. So being ready that way. World runs, world continues, and we have our own expiration dates not decided by us. No matter how safe you have been, you feel ashamed. Oh, I was here to protect my son. And in fact, he was protecting me, or he couldn't. He was with his earphones and stuff. And I'm gone now. Let him be. You know, world continues. Anyway, we can go on and on. It's time to perhaps end. Let's share our merits of meditation by closing our eyes and putting our palms together and saying these words and setting intentions like this. May the suffering ones be suffering free, fear struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, may all beings find relief. May all beings share these merits that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power share this merit of ours. May they long protect us and protect the teachings of Supreme Awakened Ones. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So have a great weekend. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sitting with me.
Thank you.
Until next time.